My beloved child. Pause here for a moment, don't rush past this, because what you are about to hear did not arrive to you by accident. Something within you was guided to this very second, to this very message, as if invisible hands aligned time itself just so you would not miss it. You felt it, didn't you? That subtle pull, that quiet nudge that made you stop, even if just for a heartbeat longer than usual. That was not coincidence. That was alignment. And I need you to listen closely now, because what I am about to reveal is not ordinary, and once you hear it, you will begin to see everything differently. There is someone, in your city, in your very surroundings, moving through the same air you breathe, walking beneath the same sky that watches over you at night. Their footsteps have crossed paths with yours more times than you realize, yet something has always kept the final moment from happening. Not by chance. By design. My beloved child, you have asked silently, sometimes in pain, sometimes in hope, sometimes in exhaustion. Where are they? Why haven't they come yet? Why does it feel like something is missing? And I have heard every word you never spoke out loud. Because this person, this soul that is tied to yours, has been on a journey just as complex, just as fragile, just as unfinished as yours. And now, everything is beginning to shift. But listen carefully, because this is where your understanding must deepen. This is not a simple story of two people meeting and everything falling into place like a dream. No, what is unfolding is something far more intricate, something layered with timing, growth, resistance, and awakening. Because this person, your soulmate, is not unaware. They have felt you too. Not in the way the world teaches people to recognize love, not in obvious signs or clear memories, but in quiet moments. In pauses they could never explain. In a sudden sense of longing that seemed to appear out of nowhere. There have been nights where they sat in silence, staring at nothing, yet feeling everything, a strange presence, a pull towards something they couldn't name. That was you. Yes, even without meeting you, your energy has already reached them. And this is where the truth begins to deepen. Because right now, as you are hearing these words, they are on the edge of a realization. Something is happening within them. Something they can no longer ignore. But they are confused. They are resisting. And they are about to make a decision that will either bring them closer to you, or delay what is meant to be. This is why you were brought here today. Because the moment is closer than you think, but it is not yet complete. My beloved child, stop for a second and feel this. There have been times in your life where you felt like something almost happened. Like you were so close to meeting someone, or something meaningful was just within reach, but then it slipped away. That was not failure. That was preparation. Because every almost moment was shaping both of you, aligning your paths without forcing them too soon. You see, if you had met earlier, it would not have lasted. Not because the connection wasn't real, but because the versions of you at that time were not ready to hold something that powerful. And the same is true for them. They have been growing, but not in a straight line. They have made mistakes. They have chosen distractions. They have entertained connections that felt right for a moment, only to realize later that something deeper was missing. And every time they walked away from something that wasn't meant for them, they unknowingly stepped one step closer to you. But here is what you don't yet see. They are about to face something that will shake them. A realization that will feel uncomfortable. A moment where they will have to confront the truth about what they really want, and what they have been avoiding. And when that moment comes, they will think of you. Not by name. Not by face. But by feeling. A feeling they cannot ignore anymore. My beloved child. I need you to understand something that most people never realize. Soul connections are not just about love. They are about awakening. And awakening is rarely comfortable. Because before two souls can truly meet, they must shed everything that is not aligned with that meeting. And right now, they are in the process of shedding. But shedding can look like chaos. It can look like confusion. It can look like them making decisions that don't seem to make sense. And this is where your patience is being tested. Because while they are going through their transformation, you are being asked to remain grounded. To trust what you cannot yet see. To believe in something that has not yet fully arrived. And I know, this is not easy for you. There have been moments where you questioned everything. Moments where you wondered if this connection even exists. Moments where you felt like giving up on the idea of the one altogether. But listen to me carefully now. Those thoughts, those doubts, were never the truth. They were echoes of your waiting. And waiting, when misunderstood, can feel like emptiness. But this is not emptiness. This is alignment in motion. Because while you were waiting, something else was happening. They were being guided. Slowly. Subtly. Without them even realizing it. There were conversations that changed them. Experiences that humbled them. Moments of silence that forced them to look inward. And all of it, every single piece, has been leading to this exact phase they are entering now. A phase where they can no longer distract themselves from what they feel. A phase where they begin to notice patterns. A phase where something inside them whispers. There is someone. But here is where the tension rises. Because when a soul begins to awaken to something real, fear often follows. And they are afraid. Not of you. But of what this connection will require from them. Because deep down, they know. They know that this is not something casual. They know that this is not something they can control or walk away from easily. They know that if they step toward this, everything in their life will begin to change. And that terrifies them. So what are they about to do? This is the moment you must pay attention to. Because their next move will not be what you expect. They are not going to rush toward you. They are not going to suddenly appear with clarity and confidence. No. They are going to hesitate. They are going to pull back. They are going to question everything. And for a moment, it may feel like they are moving further away. But this is not what it seems. This is the final resistance before alignment. My beloved child. Do not misinterpret this phase. Because many people lose faith right here. They see hesitation and think it is rejection. They see distance and think it is disconnection. But what is really happening is that your soulmate is standing at the edge of transformation. And stepping forward means letting go of who they used to be. And letting go is never easy. Not even when something beautiful is waiting on the other side. So they pause. They overthink. They delay. And yet, something keeps pulling them back. Something keeps bringing your energy into their awareness. Something they cannot escape. And that something is the truth of your connection. Now listen closely, because this is where it becomes even more important for you. While they are going through this internal storm, you are being prepared in a different way. You are being strengthened. You are being taught to stand in your worth without chasing. You are being guided to recognize that what is meant for you does not require you to lose yourself to receive it. Because when they finally step forward, you must be ready to meet them not from a place of longing, but from a place of knowing. Knowing that you are not waiting to be chosen. Because you already are. And this is the part that changes everything. Because the moment you fully understand this, the energy between you begins to shift. The distance begins to close. The timing begins to accelerate. And they begin to feel it even stronger. But right now, they are still in that fragile space. That in-between moment where everything is about to change. But hasn't yet. And what they are about to do next will determine how quickly your paths finally collide. My beloved child, you must stay with me here, because this next truth is not something you were expecting. They are about to make a move. But it is not the move you think. It will not look like a grand gesture. It will not look like immediate recognition. It will look small. Almost insignificant. So subtle, that you might miss it if you are not paying attention. And yet, that small moment will be the beginning of everything. Because in that moment, they will unknowingly step into your path. Not realizing that this is the exact point where destiny begins to unfold. But there is something else. Something even deeper that you need to be prepared for. Because when that moment happens, you will feel something too. A familiarity that doesn't make sense. A calmness mixed with intensity. A recognition without logic. And in that exact second, you will have a choice. A quiet, internal choice. To trust what you feel. Or to question it and let it pass. And this choice, my beloved child, is where everything either begins or is delayed once more. So I ask you now, are you ready to recognize them when the moment arrives? Are you ready to trust something that cannot be explained? Are you ready to step into something that will change your life completely? Because they are getting closer. Closer than they have ever been before. Closer than you realize. And what they are about to do next will bring them directly into your reality in a way that cannot be undone. But there is still one final layer. One final truth. One final moment that must unfold before everything aligns. And it is about to happen sooner than you think. So do not move away from this message. Do not dismiss what you feel. Because in part 2, I will reveal the exact moment, the exact situation, and the exact action they are about to take. The one that will bring you face to face. And why, when it happens, you will realize that every delay, every confusion, every unanswered question, was leading to that one single moment. But you are not ready to hear that part yet. You felt it, didn't you? That lingering sense that something was left unsaid, that there is more waiting just beyond the edge of your understanding. Stay with me now, because what unfolds next is not distant anymore. It is near. It is forming. It is already beginning to move toward you. There is a moment approaching, a very specific moment, and it is not random, not something you can schedule or predict with logic. It will arrive quietly, almost disguised as an ordinary part of your day. You may be walking, waiting, scrolling, speaking to someone else, or simply passing through a place you have visited many times before. And yet, something will feel different. Not loudly. Not dramatically. But undeniably. My beloved. I will not begin again with the words you asked me not to repeat, but I need you to feel the same presence behind them. The same voice that reached you before is still speaking now. The same awareness is guiding you through this unfolding. Because this is the part where truth meets reality. The person I spoke of, the one whose path has been weaving alongside yours unseen, is about to step into a decision they have avoided for a long time. They have been circling it, postponing it, distracting themselves from it, convincing themselves they need more time. But time has brought them to a threshold. And at that threshold, something breaks. Not in a destructive way, but in a revealing way. A truth they can no longer silence rises within them. It may come through a conversation that unsettles them. It may come through a moment of loneliness they cannot escape. It may come through watching someone else walk away, forcing them to confront what they truly feel. Or it may come in silence, the kind of silence that becomes so loud it demands honesty. And in that moment, they will realize something they have been running from. That what they have been searching for, what they have been trying to recreate in other people, other places, other distractions, is not out there in fragments. It is connected. It is singular. And it is tied to a feeling they have already touched, but never fully understood. That feeling is you. Not your name. Not your face. But the essence of your presence. And when will push them into action. But listen carefully, because this action will not look perfect. It will not be polished. It will not be confident. It will be raw. They will begin by doing something small, something almost instinctive. They will change their routine. They will go somewhere they don't usually go, or go at a different time than usual. They will say yes to something they would normally avoid, or walk away from something they would normally stay in. It will seem insignificant. But it is not. Because that shift is what aligns them with you. And at the same time, without you realizing why, you will feel a pull too. A sudden urge to be somewhere. To step out. To move. To not stay where you were planning to stay. It may feel random. It may feel like nothing. But it will not be nothing. It will be the beginning of convergence. Now feel this deeply. Two paths, separate for so long, adjusting at the same time. Not by accident. Not by coincidence. But by alignment that has been building beneath the surface for longer than you can measure. And when these two movements intersect, the moment will arrive. Not announced. Not dramatic. But precise. You will see them, or sense them, before your mind fully catches up. There will be a pause. A fraction of time where everything slows just enough for recognition to slip through. Not logical recognition. Not the kind that says, I know this person. But the kind that says, I feel this person. And in that instant, something inside you will become very quiet. The noise of your thoughts will fade. The need to analyze will soften. And what remains is awareness. Now here is where your choice becomes real. Because even in that powerful moment, your mind will try to protect you. It will ask questions. It will create doubt. It will remind you of past disappointments. It will try to reduce what you feel into something ordinary. And if you listen to that voice, you may miss what is right in front of you. But if you choose differently, if you allow yourself to stay present in that moment, to not run from the unfamiliar depth of it, then something extraordinary begins. Because they will feel it too. Even if they don't understand it fully. Even if they try to mask it. Even if they hesitate. They will feel the shift. And that feeling will follow them. It will stay with them after you part. It will echo in their thoughts. It will return when they are alone. It will become impossible to ignore. And this is where the story deepens even further. Because meeting is not the end. It is the ignition. After that moment, they will begin to search. Not outwardly at first, but internally. They will replay the interaction. They will question why it felt different. Why it stayed with them. Why it did not fade like everything else. And slowly, that questioning becomes knowing. But again, there is resistance. Because knowing something like this requires courage. It requires vulnerability. It requires stepping into something that cannot be controlled. And they will hesitate again. But not in the same way as before. This time, their hesitation will be shorter. Weaker. Because the truth has already reached them. And truth, once felt deeply, cannot be forgotten. Now listen closely. Because this is the part most people misunderstand. You may think that once you meet, everything should immediately fall into place. That there should be clarity, ease, certainty. But real connection, especially one like this, unfolds in layers. There will be moments of closeness. Moments of uncertainty. Moments where it feels like everything is aligning. And moments where it feels like it is slipping again. This is not failure. This is integration. Because both of you are learning how to hold something that is deeper than anything you have experienced before. And depth requires space to stabilize. But here is the truth that will anchor you through it all. They are not walking away from you anymore. Even when they pause. Even when they need time. Even when they seem unsure. The direction has changed. Before, they were moving without awareness. Now, they are moving towards something they can feel. Toward you. And that changes everything. Now there is one final piece you must understand. Because this is where your power truly lies. You are not here to chase this connection. You are not here to force it. You are not here to lose yourself in waiting or questioning. You are here to meet it. Fully. presently. Without shrinking. Without doubting your own worth. Because the moment you stand in that energy, you make it easier for them to rise into theirs. And when both of you meet in that space, the connection stabilizes. It strengthens. It becomes something real. Something lived. Not just felt. And that is what is being prepared right now. But there is still one final moment ahead. One moment that will test both of you in a way you are not expecting. A moment that will determine whether this connection expands fully, or contracts temporarily before rising again. And it will happen after you meet. Not before. It will come when emotions are already involved. When the connection is already felt. When stepping away would hurt. And stepping forward would require courage. That moment is where everything becomes undeniable. And you will feel it when it comes. A tension. A choice. A deep knowing that something important is happening. And when that moment arrives, you must remember everything you felt when you first recognized them. Because that feeling will be your truth. And in part 3, I will reveal what that final test is, why it appears, and what must happen for this connection to move from possibility into something that cannot be broken. Stay aware. Because the unfolding has already begun.